I'm kind of surprised that the warehouse is totally overflowing with wheat, though. Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to yet another episode of Rise of Industry with me, Spacefish, and welcome to our beautiful little world with our huge industrial complex. We have, in like the last 5 or 6 episodes, honestly really made quite some big advancements, I would say. We've got quite a few production cycles going, quite a lot of money invested as well, given that we started out with 10 mil, now down to 2.8 mil, and well, things are looking somewhat nice for us. But in the last episode we did expand the crop and livestock farm stuff out here by a good bit, and we also looked at expanding our toy factories, making a few bit of mistakes as well along the way in terms of the logistics, but now all is fine and well. We have more or less solved the issues we've had there, and well, I'm currently mostly looking to just be making a bit of money, so we will let the game run alongside. We will just be really earning a bit of money in the background while going through some of the things that we have going alongside. So for a start, in the comments down below, Chef Irish, I think was your name, you let me know that we can actually sell to the global markets, but the whole selling to global markets thing is a bit more complex. Well, not complex, but a bit more hidden than I thought it was. Or, well, honestly, it's really not the hardest thing in the world. You just gotta actually imagine it. So basically, in theory, you just choose a destination for your products, and then you would be selling out to these roads? I think that was the idea, right? Maybe I misunderstood something there in terms of how... Can we maybe just... Panovitz State. Oh, I think this is it. Ah, okay. So I'm not sure if we can actually just pull the line out like that. Apparently we cannot, but what we can do, as you can see right here, is we can just, like, choose this as the sell out to state destination, and then we get whatever prices, I guess, are shown on the global markets right here. So you can see that's actually 9k, which does seem pretty alright to me, to be honest. If we do look at the farmer's market, though, yeah, you can see. So we do earn quite a bit more from actually selling out to farmers markets properly, but if we would have some surplus goods that we would not be able to sell just yet, you know, say like the meat or something, we wouldn't have any cities that really take that at the moment. We would be able to just sell that out to the global market that way instead. So thanks very much for that hint. Was a bit hidden and was a bit of something to learn about, but that's the way that you all can do it too, in case you should be wondering about that. So thank you very much, appreciated. And I just thought there was Sims icons all over the place here, but that's of course trees, not Sims. That said, so I said in the last episode that I definitely want to go and place another water siphon and then finish off this whole crop farm plus livestock farm construct that we've got going right here, and I think that that is certainly something we will want to take on this episode. Also, I'm kind of wondering if this whole roundabout thing may actually be something that you want to do. I'm not sure if this is really a proper roundabout, given that there's like streets in the middle right here, but maybe through using roundabouts we would be able to kind of clear up traffic a tad bit. I'm really not quite sure. If you know, let me know down below. We've got alerts down here. Let's check those out real quick. Destination storage is full, crop farm. Meaning? Oh, meaning that the warehouse is actually full. Yeah, so that seems to be like a bit of an issue to me, but we can't really do much about it. I'm kind of surprised that the warehouse is totally overflowing with wheat, though. Are we maybe making more wheat than I thought we wood, or are we using less of it than I thought we would? Because that's kind of insane. Also, water is totally overflowing. Maybe we did something, or I did something wrong in terms of actually checking out the frequencies out here. Let's maybe pause the game for a second, because the surplus right here is pretty astonishing, to say the least. Like, how are we doing out here? Okay, this seems to be all doing fine now. We do seem to have proper material allocation going on right there, so that's good to know. But the thing that I'm kind of wondering about here is the whole livestock farm thing and crops and everything. So if we look at our crop farm right here, we are making so we are slightly off with the estimates, I suppose. I'm not sure why I have that much of a water overflow. Let's start out like that. I'm really not sure. But, well, actually, no, I'm really not sure. But what I do know is that we're making way too much wheat at the moment. Because we're actually making 2 wheat a field. And I thought it was 1. So I was kind of planning to make double the wheat that I actually need. Which, you know, maybe we can reuse that for something else like flour or something. But for the time being, we don't really need any more crop farms. We could probably just look at, I don't know, getting more livestock farms and just, you know, maybe we have enough water for that at the same time? Because, like, the thing is, in theory, we only need 1 wheat farm to supply 2 livestock farms, and we've got 1 wheat farm right here and 2 livestock farms right there, but then we've got 1 surplus farm, which would be able to supply another 2 livestock farms, which would then, in turn, over-satisfy the demand for milk and meat and leather and all those, so we would be able to build 1 more livestock farm, and that way kind of keep things a little more in balance. And it seems that we've got... Well, what does this red icon mean now? Destination storage is full, we know. Contract successfully completed is also awesome. Can I check that out, or do I just auto-gain the money? I think we auto-gained the money, so that's nice. So before we do anything else, let's maybe quickly change the location here that we deliver the meat out to, or, well, respectively add a new one, because the old one auto-deleted itself, apparently, when we fulfilled the contract. So that's kind of nice, honestly, because otherwise we would have probably lost a bit of money on it. Well, not lost, but really made very little money on it, because I think we got like 3 or 4k per piece of meat that we delivered here, as opposed to like 8, 9, 10k that we get at the farmer's market, so that makes way, way, way more sense. It does... No, this is in demand. Wait. Oh, no. Okay, that set itself up. I'm not quite sure... That's fine. Anyways, moving on, we are going to deliver the meat out to there, make some more money. That's nice and beautiful. We've got 3.18 million. What is your issue right here? Why are you red? I do not quite seem to understand your issue, good sir. Oh, maybe it's just that they're now delivering the water out or something. I don't know. Anyways, what we really need to take care of here is the whole wheat thing. And we're currently still working on the track capacity, which is going to be a good thing once we actually get that research. But maybe we want to, on the side, kind of look at what we can do with our wheat right here. Something like flour, I suppose. If we would make flour, we could make chocolate cakes right here, which would mean, though, that we would need to produce cocoa or alternatively dough, and then we could be making donuts, waffles, or with the help of our berries, we could be making berry pie, which is also kind of nice, because thus far we only have like berry smoothie, which I guess isn't the most advanced product in the world, and this will probably be more profitable than the berry smoothie in the long term. But one way or another, I think what we would need to start out with would be flour. On the other hand side, the question kind of being, though, do we even have demand for that? Because if we don't, it doesn't really make sense to make that. And, well, as you can see, currently there is no wheat. Well, there's no flour in demand, rather. So I think I remember some way of actually finding out who requires what. Yes, indeed. So you can see here, we've got the farmers market. That doesn't require flour. That one doesn't require flour. Same thing here. Exact same thing right there. Exact same thing right... Okay, so... I guess making flour at the moment doesn't really make much of any sense. Now, the one thing that I'm still utterly unsure about is how do I get more demands for more advanced products on these markets, because I'm really not quite sure. And I'm still struggling to find this out. So if you know, please let me know down below in the comments. For the time being, I guess what we will do, given that we've also already got 3.2 million through the contract and letting time run for a tad bit, is we will go and actually get a livestock farm built out here that we will kind of reuse all the wheat that we have in, and we will reuse some of the or water that we have, which theoretically I guess we have a surplus, given that there's like 70 units of water stored in there. So we will go for that livestock farm for the time being, reuse some of that weed. Not weed, but wheat. You know, just slightly off right there. And then we will kind of have to find out what to do next. Because currently, I don't know. I'm really unsure. Like, we could be selling out portions of the wheat in order to not, you know, unnecessarily produce it and thus be a bit unprofitable, but I would kind of be worried that if I sell out too much of the wheat, I may end up at a point where I cannot supply my livestock farms properly anymore, so there would be a min kept that I would have to set, I suppose. For a start, let's check this out. This is Livestock Farm 3, I think it is indeed. So all the ingoings are automatically defined, or no, the outgoings rather. All the ingoings should be defined automatically too, which as you can see right here is beautifully the case. So not really much of anything to worry about here, and hopefully that kind of helps us use up some of that wheat. There is apparently 12 trucks that are planned to be en route to that livestock farm, or no, it actually is the patching. 12. Holy Jesus Christ. Okay. Is this truck capacity only for the warehouse trucks, or is it also for the farm trucks and stuff? Because holy moly, this logistic part is becoming a nightmare out there. Maybe I should start spreading things out a bit more. Where is this at? Basic distribution increases the capacity of warehouse trucks. Okay. Okay. We will have to sort of kind of see what to do about that. Like, urban road speed won't save me from this, I don't think. And, well, I don't know. I really, really, really don't know what to sort of do about that. So we'll have to see. For the time being, I guess that's going to have to do. Now, the thing is that I would sort of like to research more advanced products. But I sort of also don't really have a clue of how to generate. Maybe these actually become demands once I have them researched? Could that be the case? Because that would be kind of nice and easy, I suppose. I know that my contract has been successfully completed. How can I get rid of that? Thank you. I don't know. Maybe that's the way to go. Also, we probably want to speed up our R&D eventually, so we would need to raise our monthly investment. This is like salary setting, which is also kind of interesting, because I think depending on what salaries you set, I would suppose that the things work faster or slower. So also something to maybe look at there in the future, but I think for the time being, everything that we really want is going to come down to, well, actually this could be kind of nice to have. Increasing the amount of harvesters and fields and stuff that you have in one farm would kind of very much raise the efficiency of the overall system, which is pretty nice. But I suppose that if I increase my capacities like this, I would have to have better distribution methods, which means I definitely need a train terminal soon. I think that has to be the next thing on our list. Let's for the time being speed things up, see how our stocks develop, how the traffic develops and everything, and then we'll sort of go from there. You can see that my wheat is kind of at a very high surplus situation. So what we're going to do here is we're going to choose a destination for raw resources, no farm produce. It'll be wheat. We will actually pause time here for a second so not everything gets instantly delivered out. And then we will go and actually deliver to... Why can I not move my camera anymore? There we go. Then we will go and actually deliver out to the farmer's market. But why I kind of pause the time here for a second is we're going to set a min kept. And we're going to make it pretty high. I think we're going to make it like 40 or something. Like, I feel the max stored is like 75 on wheat, so if I have like, let's say 45 of a backup, you know, that should be more than enough buffer for all the livestock farms if anything weird happens, and at the same time we get to sell out some of that wheat so we do not constantly overproduce with these farms and, you know, make less money than we would actually be able to. So that should drain our storage a tad bit right here and, well, you know, enable the crop farms to get back to producing, which meanwhile, you know, actually is going to be economically probably a bit more efficient for us. And you can say we're actually starting to make real good money now. Now, in theory, honestly speaking, we are really not low on water. So I'm sort of kind of tempted to actually get another livestock farm. But I'm also sort of kind of worried about demands and all. R&D alerts. Truck capacity has been increased. That is great news, because now the trucks are going to actually just transport multiple resources at once instead of just one at a time, which is hopefully going to decrease the spam of trucks on the road a bit, and also probably our profitability, because I would guess that a truck always has a fixed amount of upkeep to it, and due to us having less trucks on the road, we would save some money. That's at least what I would hope. We'll kind of see, I guess. But the next thing on the list here then being, well, either a train terminal or a new sort of product I would kind of like to actually try out if we just generate a demand through researching something. Now, the research cost on berry smoothies and flour is sort of the same. And I think that I've got more of a berry surplus. So I think, given that we've also slightly already started, we will continue researching the berry smoothie then, and then we'll just find out if that means, like, if my berry smoothie is researched, I will get more demand for it, basically. Now, I'm kind of tempted. Given these surplus figures, I'm honestly kind of sort of tempted to get a fourth livestock farm. Now, I do sort of acknowledge that that could mean that I would need another water siphon, but honestly, we are really well using the water for everything anyway, so I don't think it would be the biggest issue in the world. Like, do we have a backlog right here, for example? No. So it does sort of seem to me like we're at capacity. Not quite sure we would be able to feed into another livestock farm like this. Maybe we should not do that for the time being. I do want to take a quick moment to look at our competitors, though. We are currently at 12.48 mil of stocks values. Waterworth 12.96, and the other lads right here 18.87. Did these guys overtake me? I really don't like that. I really don't. I think we were doing good, but we need to keep expanding like crazy and into other markets and all. Maybe we should actually get a train set up so we can just like export to webams or something and actually fulfill some of the demand right there. Now, looking at this, what demands is my competitor really fulfilling? Okay, seems like a few berries, a bit of sugar or something. No milk, no beef, and I guess they take leather too. So we would be able to export all our cow products to out there. I think we should consider that, honestly. We would need a place for a railway station. We would need to get some other things set up, but maybe we should consider that. Other than that, I also kind of really want to exploit the gas fields out there, but like, selling the raw resources doesn't make sense. So what I think we'll have to do here for a start is actually finish that berry smoothie research and see if that gives us the demand. Because if it does, then I've got a huge list of things that I want to research, kinda. And the first thing, ooh, wait a second. Deliver 16 leather to webams. I think we're going to bid on that, because if we get the max contract bid, that is going to be super profitable. So let's give it a try. But, you know, if that is possible, and that actually generates the demands for us, we could be doing chemicals, we could be doing plastics, we could well, I definitely want to get trains research, because that kind of just extends our ability to sell things to other markets at the same time. So I think that would be nice. I really do. You know, our kind of farms and everything are going at the moment. They're making us nice money, but we need to turn our attention to different things and actually work on different things. We actually won the contract, which is beautiful. Now, how much time do I actually have for this one would be a good question. We do have a huge ton of time. Okay. We will get the delivery started, though. We will just quickly go to the warehouse right here, and we will change this destination, basically, to Webham's right there. Town center. Done. That's basically it. 11 units of leather with, like, 3 farms should also be pretty quickly delivered, I hope. So, fingers crossed that that's going to work out very quickly for us. Now, the important part here, though, and let me get this sped up a tad bit more, is going to be the question, well, it's going to be the berry smoothie question. So I would very much like to hear about that. Let's see if this has now generated more demands, or has, like, if we now are, in general, able to sell this. It doesn't look like it. So I'm not quite sure. I mean, sure, I would be able to sell things out to the global market, but the global market, as far as I've seen, is honestly so much less profitable that you don't really want to do this as your main thing. Maybe more as like an overflow mechanism if you're kind of producing more than the cities close to you demand. But yeah, you can see, like, nobody wants berry smoothies, so... Well, I don't know. Like, wasn't there a different sort of overview in terms of, like, who wants what as well? Like, I know we just looked into this one, but this one is really not the most comprehensive overview. But you can say, farmers markets everywhere, there is no demand for berry smoothies, which kind of sucks. So we can't just generate those demands out of thin air. How and why they get generated, though, I've got no clue. I've got absolutely no clue. Maybe as the population grows, the town grows, and as the town grows, there's more shops, and as there's more shops, we get more demands. I would guess that that's the way that that works, but for the time being, we're then kind of sort of limited to the demands that we are currently working with. So I think we need to actually get a method now of exploiting demands in other cities without actually getting production started in other cities, because that of course means that we would need to place a headquarters, which I think costs us a fair bit of money. So what we'll be doing, we'll be researching trains. I feel that that is very, very necessary now, and we'll probably get a train line going to Webham's and a warehouse right there, and then we'll be delivering surplus from our livestock production to Webham's, and we'll probably expand the livestock production more, to be honest, because that feels like the thing we're sort of specialized in at the moment, and if it is working well for us in one place, I'm sure it'll work well for us in a different place too, as long as we can get the whole backbone of this going. Then after that, I'm really not 100% sure. Maybe we want to actually just get this whole tech tree here researched, because more crop fields and more livestock fields and more water siphons, which I'm honestly not quite sure what water siphons count as, I suppose would just be increasing our production possibilities without even having to place more core buildings, which would be kind of nice. So I think would be the way that I would be looking at doing this. Now the question is, I suppose this is not an offshore harvester for a start, right? But are water siphons land-based, or are water siphons coastal? In my understanding, they'd be coastal, but in my experience, you never quite know what a game takes for actually being the granted thing, so I think we'll probably try that. But yeah, so I think this year is a big part of my list. The other thing being monthly R&D investment potential, but I'm not quite sure we've even got enough money to invest more than 100k in a month in R&D at the moment. I mean, technically we do, don't get me wrong, but I would also like to make some money alongside that I can then sort of reinvest into my infrastructure, into my farms, into actually expanding, because, well, we need to keep up with the AI, and currently we're not doing that crazy good at that, so we need to catch up. I'm kind of sort of considering while I don't use the money for anything else to just start buying up competitors, but I'm also kind of sort of worried about that. I'm not quite sure how good or bad of an idea that is. We could try and write the competition off the map that way. But I don't know. We'll have to find out about that. But with that said then, with the train terminal now in research, and I think the strategy sort of laid out for the next few episodes of what we want to do, where we want to go, I'm going to have to end the episode off right here, because unfortunately the time's already come to an end for this one. Quite quick and unexpectedly, I have to say. Next episode, we'll finish our second contract, hopefully make some good money off of that. Maybe we're going to consider starting to buy some stock of other competitors, but I'm not too sure about that. Please let me know your opinions of that down below. And then we will probably look at expanding our production capabilities, getting a train terminal going, and actually selling all those goods out to other cities through that train terminal. So very much looking forward to that. For today though, I'm going to end this episode off right here, so I hope that you all very much enjoyed the episode. As usual, if you did, please make sure to hit that like button down below. That does always help out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new around here and haven't done so just yet, also please consider subscribing right down below, as well as hitting that bell icon to stay up to date on all the future upcoming episodes. But with all that out of the way, as usual everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll catch you in the next episode very, very soon. Ciao.